Hey, so today I'm going to give you guys some tips if you're interested in starting locks that I highly recommend you know or do prior to starting your lock journey. Okay, so tip number one is for you to know that everyone's locks are different. Okay, if you are starting out your lock journey and you are fixated on them looking a certain way, you're setting yourself up for failure in regards to being able to really embrace the way your locks look or how they're supposed to look. They are extremely unique. They're just as unique as your hair when it's in its loose state. There's no difference, okay? So just be open-minded to however your locks turn out looking, knowing that this is the way that they're supposed to be. The second thing that you should know is you're going to have to trust the process. You're going to have to know that even if you have loose, curly hair, which I see and I hear this a lot, sisters with looser, curlier textures feeling like they have to do something more to make the process go faster. The back of my hair is the loosest texture of my hair, okay? These locks that are in the back right here, as you can see, they're even sealed all the way to the end. That area locked up faster than any other part. I started to notice matting within the first shampoo. Okay, so let your hair do what it's gonna do. Trust the process, all right? People don't just say that just to say it. Don't try to rush it. Let your hair do what it's gonna do. Be patient. Your hair actually wants to lock. If you have afro textured hair, it's gonna wanna lock. So just let it do what it's gonna do. The third thing that you need to know is that your natural hair density is not gonna change. When you start locks with 2-strand twister coils, yes, the lock itself is going to triple in size, okay? However, the density is gonna stay the same. So if you have fine, low density hair, the locks may get thicker, meaning in the shaft of the lock, right? But up in here is gonna stay the same, and you'll really notice it when you get a retwist, because it'll look real scalpy because your hair's low density and fine, okay? And then when you're in between retwists and you have puffy roots, then it might look different, right? It's gonna look filled in, but when you get that retwist, you'll be reminded of your natural hair density because that never changes. And the roots of traditional locks never lock. If you're not interlocking, you see how this is loose. That's loose, that's not locked right there, okay? And that's how traditional locks are. Your roots never lock. This is not new growth, what I just showed you. That's just the fact that they don't lock, okay? The fourth thing you need to know is that if you start your locks with 2-strand twists, they may unravel. Don't look at that as a problem. Just retwist them back. That's all you have to do. I'm not even going to go into detail. I know a lot of people have contacted me after I've started their locks with 2-strand twists, and they're in a panic like, oh my goodness, my 2-strand twists are coming apart. What do I do? Twist them back. That's all you do. Oh, I want to add that if you start them with comb coils, I've never had a client where their comb coils unraveled. Usually what happens when you start them with comb coils are they'll start to attach themselves to one another. That's about the farther it's gonna go, and then you can just pull them apart. I mean, yeah. Part of the process, part of trusting the process. No reason to panic, okay? One thing that can help with that is if you sleep with a do-rag or a satin bonnet, have a satin pillowcase, a lot of times that can assist with that process, but it is completely natural for if you start your locks with 2-strand twists, and let's say you have a silkier texture of hair, a looser curl pattern, for the 2-strand twist to unravel, and all you have to do is twist them back. Simple as that. The fifth thing that you should know is if you have scalp issues that require your hair to be shampooed often, you can shampoo your hair very soon after. Don't go with anyone who's telling you, don't shampoo for 2 months and things like that. I'm not gonna lie, when I first started out, that was what I thought, but you don't have to. Here's a pro tip and a hack. Get a stocking cap. If you need to shampoo your hair, put the stocking cap on top of the crown area, everywhere where your scalp is. Get your shampoo. Wet your hair first, of course. Then get your shampoo, put it in your hands, rub it around, right? Stocking caps work better than wig caps because they're super thin. And then you want to take just this part, and just go in like this. Exactly like what I'm doing. All over. And then rinse it out with the stocking cap on. You can push it down and make sure that you're squeezing out all the shampoo and until the water runs clear, okay? That's a hack that will enable you to shampoo your hair right away, especially if you have looser textured hair and you're worried about your coils your coils combining, or you're worried about your two-strand twists unraveling on you. Let's say you're starting with shorter hair. If you're starting with really short hair, then yeah, the odds of that happening and you have loose curly hair are more prone to happen, okay? So using the stocking cap hack will allow you to be able to shampoo your hair without compromising the integrity of the starter locks. The fifth thing that you need to know is if you want to dye your hair, make sure you do it prior to locking. Once you start your starter locks, I don't recommend, and it's a pretty well-known thing, that you should not dye your hair until now your locks have fully matured, which can take anywhere from 3 months, which is the fastest client that I've ever had, all the way to 18 months, okay, which is about the time that it took for mine to lock fully. So if you want to dye them, also keep in mind that if you're lifting color, like you're going from my color to like a blonde and things like that, or you want to use bleach, you're going to damage your locks, period. I've seen it too many times. People want to ignore the fact that it makes the locks it makes them look just unhealthy when you bleach them like that. They look weak. Just if you want healthy locks, lift maybe 1 or 2 levels, 3 at the most. But when you're going from dark to like bleaching for these vibrant colors, just know that you are risking damage. Let me just put it like that. You're risking damage in your locks. So keep that in mind. The next thing you need to know is not to be worried about how other people are interpreting your journey, okay? Before I started my locks, I had a lot of people saying, oh, why do you want to lock your hair? It's so pretty. I'm not saying that that's negative. It's a compliment, right? But why wouldn't I want to lock it? It doesn't matter your hair texture. I wanted locks. I knew what I wanted to do. So don't pay attention to people who don't support your lock journey, because I'm telling you right now, the second that hang time starts hanging, they're going to be asking you questions about your locks. You're going to be inspiring people by your actions and by staying committed to your lock journey. So let them say whatever they want to say, because at the end of the day, when you stay committed year after year and your locks are getting longer and longer, you're leading by example, okay? So don't worry about anyone who doesn't support your lock journey. The next thing that you need to know is what the stages of locking are. And I've talked about this before. It's very important that you know what the stages are, because if you say you want a free form, you want a semi-free form, you want traditional locks, you want starters, or you want micro locks, or you want sister locks, they still have to go through a progression of maturity. And understanding what that looks like helps you not be so surprised when you see it happening to your own hair. Okay? And it helps you to, even if you may not like the way that it looks, at least you can look in the mirror and be like, oh, my locks are budding. I'm in the budding phase, or I'm in the teen phase, or, oh, I'm noticing now my locks are maturing. I'm not getting any shedding like I used to. Okay? So knowing those stages will be very, very helpful for you to stay on target. And the last thing that I want to recommend would be for you not to necessarily focus on the length, because in the beginning, so many people, that's what they're like. Oh, people come to me all the time. I can't wait till my locks get to your length. And my legs, I don't consider my locks long. I mean, long locks are like, to me, like once you get bra strap and beyond. Okay, so mine haven't quite made it to bra strap length in the longest part, meaning my locks grow in layers. And my longest layer, which is the bottom back, is not touching my bra strap. So when I think of, how I was when I first started, yeah, length mattered. I had a certain length goal and whatnot. But at the end of the day, that shifted, because I realized that what I need to do is honor the commitment, honor the fact that I've stayed committed to this journey month after month. So instead of focusing on just the length, you can take pictures and all of that, because it is very inspiring when you can show, hey, 3 months versus 3 years, right? Not only inspiring for you, but inspiring for other people who see that. But just keep in mind what honoring the commitment does. It takes away from just, oh, my locks are long now. Now you're honoring the fact that, you know what, I stayed committed to this journey. I went through the so-called ugly stage. I went through all of this, and I still have an appreciation for the commitment. So honor that more than the length. And 9 times out of 10, it'll help you stay more focused on the journey versus obsessing over length. Okay, so I hope that these tips help you. If you have any other questions, make sure you drop them in the comments below and I will answer them. I might even make a video about them, whatever your question may be. But these will really help you, these tips that I'm giving you, to know in advance, because I talk to so many sisters who during our lock consultations are sending me pictures and they're like, I want my locks like that. And I think that once you're fixated on them, which was my number one thing, understanding the uniqueness of them, that is so important. I've never seen locks that didn't look right on someone. Man, woman, child. They always look good on you. It's a matter of your perception and what you perceive. Because there's a lot of texturism going on in the lock community. I'm going to talk about that in another video. And it shouldn't be that way, but it is, right? We know our history as Black people in America and the hierarchy of the good hair versus bad hair. And unfortunately, that also is trickling into the lock community as well. Okay, so try not to get fixated on them looking a certain way, all right? And I hope these tips help you. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and of course, subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.